So today it was confirmed that one of the projects or spin-off projects for the Walking Dead universe that AMC is working on is going to be another spin-off show, which is absolutely insane because we've known for a while that they have a bunch of projects for the Walking Dead going on right now. They got the Rick movies, they want to do like some specials, maybe some one-offs, maybe like a season of like 10 episodes or something as a backstory for certain characters. We knew that certain stuff was planned, but a whole other show was definitely something that wasn't on my radar and I didn't think was going to happen. I mean, you have the main show, Fear the Walking Dead, and now you're going to have this new thing. I mean, I'm definitely excited because I do think that this has potential to go somewhere. Any Walking Dead property I do think has potential to go somewhere, but we're just going to have to wait and see how they handle it. And in this video, I'm going to go over what I want to see in it, all the details we have so far. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, during a recent investors call, AMC made it known that they were in active development on a new Walking Dead show. They don't have really anything to release on that just yet. It looks like it's in very early stages, so don't be, expecting to see promotional material for anything for probably like 2 years or so. I mean, this is in very early stages. They probably don't know exactly what they want to do with it yet, except that they have a sort of general idea and they do want to make a third show. Now, generally, I'm okay with this, more Walking Dead, the better, I would think. That's if they have a good story to tell. I know a lot of people are very, upset with Fear the Walking Dead. They think there should just be one show. And recently, there's been a lot of talk of merging the two shows. Now that we have a third show, I think it's more apparent now than ever that AMC wants to get the most out of The Walking Dead that they can. So, I mean, I personally never really thought that the shows would merge very soon, The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. Now that they're adding a third show, I think it's pretty obvious that they just want to make the franchise really big or much bigger than it has been recently and want to keep these shows on air, or maybe they are making this third show so that they can, merge Fear, or maybe they're going to merge Fear for this show. We really don't know, but they are definitely expanding the franchise at a rapid rate because we're getting the Rick Grimes movies and this third show, and we already have The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. And I mean, if they're really going all in on this new show, it looks like we're going to be seeing it around the same time that we see the first Rick Grimes movie, maybe a little bit afterwards. So in the next 2 years, we're just going to be getting hit all the time with Walking Dead stuff, which is crazy to think about because just I don't know, last year we really didn't have much really going on in the universe. We had The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, that was a lot. That was enough, and people didn't expect more. Now we're getting movies, we're getting specials, and a brand new show. But I mean, it's just crazy how much AMC is throwing at us when it comes to The Walking Dead. I mean, it makes sense. They want to get as much out of The Walking Dead as they can, so they're going to keep, coming up with stuff, but this is at a rapid rate, a much more rapid rate than I thought we would ever get it. But that's fine as long as it's a good show. So I'm excited for it. I know there's been a lot of hate around the idea today as the story keeps coming out, but you know what? I'm cool with it, and I'm going to give my thoughts on exactly what I want to see in it. And first off, and this is kind of generic, but I don't want it to be like Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. They have a very specific feel to them that feels almost the same. They just kind of do the same thing. They go from place to place, survive, build a community, all that sort of stuff. And I mean, I guess it's fine. I mean, you're in the Walking Dead universe, what else are you going to do? But if you're going to make a third show about the Walking Dead, you have to do something different. And I will give, kudos to Fear the Walking Dead. They're starting to do something different. And I've said it in my other videos that I am very excited for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 because the show is going in a very different direction. They're going to be out on the road a lot more. They're not going to be stuck in one place like The Walking Dead is. I mean, they're going to have a base and everything. But one thing that's gotten a little bit old about the Walking Dead main show, which is still a good thing at the same time, is that they're staying in the same place. I know they're establishing a home. You got Alexandria, Hilltop, the Kingdom. That's great. I want them to stay there. But, it gets a little old because you still got all the same locations you keep looking at. So that's why I'm so excited for Fear the Walking Dead. And both of them take place in the United States. And actually, earlier on in Fear the Walking Dead, they were in Mexico, which was really cool. I wish they kept doing that. But, of course, they moved back up to Texas. So it's still kind of the same thing. But here, I would like them to either go to a whole different country entirely, or at least have it take place there, or do something with snow. I know a lot of people have been talking about that. I would like to see that. I mean, snow would be great, of course, because it would be different, aesthetically. But it looks like they're doing that in the Walking Dead main show. If I do, recall correctly, we got a synopsis for the final episode of Season 9, but I'm not going to get into that now. But, even a place with snow, if you're going to have, a permanent show, you could do that, because with The Walking Dead, they're not going to keep it on forever. Hey, maybe even do something with the U.S. government. I know one of the big, draws to The Walking Dead is that they don't really focus on that, while a bunch of other zombie-related stories do, and I understand that. That was the draw to The Walking Dead at the beginning. Now that we've gotten so far, and we've gotten through so much material, really what else is there left to do, especially if you're going to develop a third show? And yeah, that is something that I did like about The Walking Dead at first. These were normal people, it wasn't like the US government or anything, but I think we're getting to the point where that's getting a little bit old, and we'd like to see something on a grander scale. Now, maybe they're doing that with the Rick Grimes movies. There's been a lot of theories on that, and I've even thought that for a while. I made a video on that as well, but if you're not going to do it in the Rick Grimes movies, you should probably do it in this show, or at least do the US government, something like that. Maybe a Cure story, I really don't know. But for sure, something that I do not want to see is a repeat of what we've already gotten, is just some random people trying to find somewhere to survive. I want this on a grander scale, or at least take place somewhere very different. So either, different location, or a different kind of story entirely, or else a third show is completely pointless. But I did mention Fear the Walking Dead is doing much better with that, so I guess you can have just an average group out there, although it won't be as exciting. Fear the Walking Dead, they're going out on the road, unlike the main show, they're helping people, which is really cool. I'm really excited for that, but do something different. That's all I really ask. I've also seen people talking about a Maggie spinoff. I really doubt that would be the case, just because, Lauren Cohan doesn't even know when she's going to return to The Walking Dead. And she would have to return to The Walking Dead before you got the spinoff show, and it'd just be a complete mess. I don't think that's happening. Plus, I wouldn't like to see that show anyways, because that's something that could just be resolved in The Walking Dead, say, where Maggie and Georgie have been. Really, we don't need it. It's something that can be done in The Walking Dead. I don't want a show about it. Plus, I really don't want this to tie completely into the main Walking Dead show, or even Fear the Walking Dead, at least not at first. Maybe do something like Fear the Walking Dead, where it starts off, it's not connected, we get this whole other world, a brand new, fresh feel, then maybe later on, intertwine all the stories. I'd like to see that. So yeah, spin-off as in it takes place in the same universe, although I do not want to see it actually be a spin-off of the main show, like a Daryl show or something like that. No, don't want to see it. Me personally, at least, I want this to be its own thing, at least at first. Because if you bring it in, you make it its own thing for the first season, 2, maybe even 3 seasons, that'd be crazy. And then, tie it all together, that would be fantastic in my eyes. Because, of course this is going to tie into everything else, but I don't want it to immediately tie into everything else, as in it's probably a spin-off of a certain character of the main show or something like that. But you catch my drift. One last thing is that I don't really want to see, unless this is about the US government or something like that, but if they're going to go back to some generic group, some random people, that kind of story, I don't want it to start at the beginning of the apocalypse, go to a couple of years into it, because that's where we are with the other shows, and really we don't need to see the beginning again. Even though we didn't get to see the beginning too much, it's just like, why even bother at this point? But that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. Tell me in the comments below, do you think this is a good idea? Do you want to see a third Walking Dead show? And more importantly, what do you want to see in it? With that being said, everybody, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.